Hi everybody and welcome to the weekly scopes from the 5th of February right up until the 11th of February. Now on the 5th of February there's a lot. The moon goes into void, of course. We have full moon as well. And as you know, full moon and new moon days I really like to go in and do a proper analysis. So the 5th of February is going to be a long analysis. Oh yeah, I just need to say that the moon void, of course, is a time when astrologers say to put things off. We're going to probably have, normally there's like 2 to 3 moon void of courses every week. If you want to know what to do during those periods, I'm going to talk about that at the end of the audio. Also, when I mention the moon phases, so I think this week the moon goes into Capricorn, then it goes into Aquarius and Pisces. If you want to know more about those as well, I'll put those audios right at the end. And in the main analysis, I'm just going to stick to the transits and things like the full moons that happen each day. So yeah. Okay, so on the 5th of February, the moon enters void of course at 6:29 GMT time PM. Also, the moon enters its full moon stage at the same time at 6:29 GMT. So if you want to know about the generalized version of what to do in the new moon, again, listen to the end of this audio. I'm going to put that there. Right now, I'm just going to talk about specifically the aspects and what the full moon means for the 5th of February. Okay, so the full moon analysis for the 5th of February. So first I'm going to deal with the squares and semi-squares. So we've got the moon square Uranus, we've got Venus square Mars, we've got Saturn semi-square Chiron, we've got Neptune semi-square North Node, and we've got Venus semi-square Pluto. So the transiting moon forming a square with Uranus can bring out a sense of erratic and eccentric stubbornness, and people can get emotionally excited or wound up easily. Some of you may do anything to stand out from the crowd or to get a reaction out of others. People may feel restless, unsatisfied with the current state of things, and to have the strong urge to make changes and seek out new experiences. This feeling of restlessness can be particularly strong because this full moon brings a strong desire for change and variety that can also cause people to become easily bored with routine and conformity. Although this can be a great source of excitement, try and find a balance between standing out and understanding the perspective of others, doing your best to view all situations from angles, using this aspect's intuition to avoid harming others or allowing them to hurt you. Transiting Venus square Mars also adds to this aggression and excitement and can make finding a balance between relationships and individual pursuits challenging. People may struggle to maintain patience with others, which can cause problems in intimate relationships over the coming weeks. For those of you with strong Mars, Uranus, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aries, or 1st, 3rd, 11th, 5th and 9th house placements or aspects in your birth chart, or if you have a lot of transits involving these houses and signs, then you may doubly become easily frustrated when others cannot keep up with your ideas and speed. At the same time, you can be unreasonably demanding of yourself and others during this full moon, leading to inattention and irritability or out of tension and frustration. This energy is best used to take an honest look at yourself and the changes you need to make while remaining compassionate to yourself and others. This transit brings to light how our expectations of others and ourselves can be hard to manage, and how important it is to find a sense of balance between the needs of others and our own needs. By recognising both our needs and the needs of those around us, we can work through this transit and come out with a better understanding of ourselves and our relationships. Transiting Saturn semi-square Chiron can also affect people's emotional state, as both planets try to make their presence felt in your life during the full moon. So Saturn is concerned with our responsibilities and our commitment to growth, while Chiron is focused on healing and understanding our deepest wounds. As a result, the combination of these energies may seem you like being pulled in different directions, like, oh, so I pay attention to my duties and responsibilities, or so I take some time out to nurture my emotions and to deal with the things that I numb myself to. So it can be a tricky time as you try to make careful decisions about how best to respond to the needs of both these powerful forces, the needs of your subconscious mind and its emotions, and Saturn here representing your logical mind and taking care of the bills and all the practicalities. Do what's best for you. Yeah, we have to take care of our bills and stuff, but it's also important to take care of our psychological and emotion states, because if we can't do that, then we crumble, and then it makes it hard for us to take care of those bills. So it's about finding a balance. This transit can also be an opportunity to learn and grow as you create a deeper understanding of your own emotional pain or spiritual psychological suffering and how you can heal from them. Transiting Venus semi-square Pluto and Mars sexti-square Pluto, it's sort of energies that support all forms of self-reflection and healing for those starting or continuing a transformational sort of like personal development journey. On the hookup and romantic level, some of you may be drawn to someone new or find it hard to end things with someone who is not good for you, because this astrological energy can make those involved feel like they're being pulled towards one another by an uncomfortable sort of like force. Think moth to flame or moth to light. Keeping your emotions and desires in check can be challenging, and relationships may become strained by obsession, sexual tension and even jealousy. So this full moon can be a tumultuous time full of unexpected challenges. These aspects can bring up powerful, primal, raw, animal magnetism, sexual drive, just want to do it everywhere and anywhere that seem to erupt from nowhere. Also, peril struggles are likely to arrive as everybody involved navigates their way through this emotionally charged period. It takes a great source of and deal actually of self-control and understanding to make it through this period unscathed, and it would be wise to keep an open mind and maintain a level head. Positively, this transit's energy contributes to the full moon, allowing us to examine our lives and relationships and values and make the necessary changes changes. And I tell my podcast editor to keep these in, because my whole purpose is, like, I know many of you are listening out there, you want to start your own podcast, and I have a speech impediment, or you may have some other disability or whatever, and I stopped myself for years not putting myself out there. So I just want to encourage my listeners to start their own podcasts or do the things that they may have been putting off, and don't let any disability or any of your flaws stop you from actually doing what you want to do in this life. So yeah, all in all, this full moon is a period where some of you may be pushed by internal or external forces to explore the depth of your souls and accept the hidden truths that may be lurking there. On a deeper level, this energy can help us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities, especially the ones that can cause you to act in ways that are out of your normal character. Taking the time to call out and start to continue the work of letting go of any outdated ways of thinking and behaviour that are no longer serving us. This can be a difficult time, facing the shadows, going within and dealing with the inner turmoil and pain that can also manifest outwardly in our own behaviours or others, that we're like other people's behaviours get on our nerves, like, oh, I'm annoyed, but really it's because they're projecting the things that we hide about ourselves. I hope I explained that right. So yeah, it can also be a time when we push ourselves to move beyond our comfort zone and make those radical changes. We may also find ourselves drawn to dark and mysterious sexual or spiritual or psychological activities as we seek to understand ourselves better and to find new directions in our lives. That being said, this intense aspect can also be used for incredible growth and transformation as we face our demons and become stronger and resilient. But just watch out. You know how I feel about the dark psychic realms and all the rest of it. Sometimes we have to be careful about the things that we touch. It's your life and all the rest of it. But a lot of the things, I don't want to say it like, how can I put it? Like, if you've got sort of like personality trait where you seek out bad boys and then you expect a good life, but you want bad men or bad women or bad non-gender binary toxic lovers as your partners, but also on the other hand you want to have a good healthy life with a stable emotional and psychological life, but you keep on inviting these negative energies into your life, and then you're wondering why you can't make the best life for yourself. So as with that, and as with psychic tools, you have to make sure that you're using them in grounded and practical ways. So yeah, it's crucial to use the aspects of Venus, semi-squares, Pluto and Mars is sextile Pluto to pause and reflect on your own motivations and behaviour, and to change whatever needs to be transformed. If you can embrace the intensity of these transits and use it to your advantage, it can just make you jump, run, skip and leap into great personal growth. So yeah, some of you, especially those with strong Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio, or 12th, 4th and 8th house placements in your chart, may be led into unknown emotional, psychological or spiritual waters due to the vibration of transiting Neptune semi-square the North Node. It can stir up old emotions and create confusion, but it can also support the energy of Saturn semi-square Chiron that I mentioned earlier, as well as the energy of Venus semi-square Pluto, adding to the foundation for spiritual growth under this full moon, and giving the opportunity to find inner strength and clarity. Some people may be drawn to escaping into drugs, alcohol or other distractions. Still, some may feel the need to pursue creative or spiritual practices almost in an addictive, obsessive manner. But it's best for you to stay grounded, as I said earlier, about the spiritual exploration and doing dark occult stuff, and make sure you get enough sleep and rest rather than poor all-nighters under this energy. The Neptune and North Node semi-square energy can bring us the much needed structure and guidance, and act as a beacon of light that can help us find our way through the darkness. Neptune's influence here reminds us that although the North Node may give us direction, it is ultimately up to us to make our decisions and choices. We are never completely limited by the framework or the structure of the North Node, and Neptune reminds us to break out the mode and to go towards our North Node in our own way. There are many times when we are made to diverge or we get lost on our paths to our authentic paths. Still, the detours often teach us a lot, and I've had some detours, and it's been painful, but I've come out stronger for it. And no one's saying going the hard way or the long ways either. I'm just one of those people, unfortunately, that in my younger years I was a bit hard of hearing, as we call it in the Caribbean community, and that just basically means you would tell me not to put my hand in the fire, and I'll put my hand in the fire. So and from experience, trusting your intuition as you go outside of your comfort zone can accelerate your growth on all levels, mind, body and soul. In such moments of free will and diversion, going off the path, we can be sure that Neptune will be there to lend a helping hand and guide us with self-assurance and helping us to stay true to our own path. Also, at the time of this full moon, the moon trines Chiron and the sun trines Mars, providing supportive energy to heal painful wounds and accept the dark side of the world and the people in it, and of course ourselves. Some of you may choose to start or expand your own alternative healing business under this influence and have more compassion for your own and other situations. Mars' trine to the sun gives you the confidence, energy and focus needed to achieve your goals, and further support stepping into leadership roles, providing a vibration to use the energies of Neptune, Venus, Pluto and Neptune's semi-square to the North Node positively if you choose to. Additionally, Mercury sextile to Neptune, Venus sextile to Uranus and Mars sextile to Chiron supports this optimism of the full moon. So Mercury sextile Neptune brings that vast energy to explore the creativity I talked about earlier. Some of you with this influence may see yourself really again obsessively watching a lot of music or taking in a lot of art or poetry and film because of the Pluto square influences that I mentioned earlier. But this energy also allows you to enjoy these things, music, art, poetry or whatever form of creativity you choose, in a more chilled out way. it can be easy to become a daydreamer, or if you are a daydreamer like I can be sometimes, you can dream a bit too much, but sometimes there's little letting our minds wander and allowing it to explore the possibilities of our innermost desires can bring us those great ideas. This podcast came out of one of them after many years of like, no, my voice, but yeah. Anyway, allowing also for us to trust our intuition a bit more and just to feel a bit more inspired. Venus's sextile to Uranus supports seeing other people's point of views, expressing your individuality and breaking our thought patterns and behaviours. So chilling out that square energy of Mars and Pluto I talked about earlier. Mars's sextile to Chiron also supports that some of you may join a social or political enterprise or start one for those who are less fortunate in society, and allows for us to be more empathetic to our own and other people's needs, as well as just take that time out to heal ourselves if you choose to use the energy in that way. Also, the conjunctions are Mercury conjuncts Pluto, Jupiter conjuncts Chiron, and Uranus conjuncts the North Node. So again, Mercury's conjunction to Pluto supports deep research and conversation, and again, self-reflection and the power to transform yourself if you want to, giving you the courage to take a hard look at your life and tap into the power of healing and decisive times of, I don't want this relationship, I want to start a new job and stuff like that. Jupiter's conjunction with Chiron is another warning not to let excitement and idealism that some of you can fall into under this full moon kind of stop you from seeing the big picture and pushing your beliefs and others. And just, as I said earlier, that the Uranus energy can make some people just go out their way just to hurt others or wind them up to get a reaction. So yeah, the Jupiter's conjunction to Chiron is just again reminding you that it's best to trust your own inner wisdom and do all you can to work through your self-destructive thoughts and behaviours and relationships, so you can tap into your inner self and see what you really want to do. And if you want to master any skill, it's a reminder that you need to take and do the research and take the time to master that skill. Also supporting that some of you will start or continue or go deeper into your spiritual personal development practice or any psychological therapy that you're doing right now on yourself. And some of you may start to begin to teach the things that you know to others, also under this influence. Now I'm going to talk about the Sabian degrees for this full moon. So Sabian degrees in astrology are a unique form of divination which uses symbols to interpret the energy of the stars and predict life events. Each of the 12 zodiac signs are divided into 30-degree segments, each with its own Sabian degree and symbol. They are based on the teachings of the astrologer Mark Edmund Jones, who got the psychic Elsie Wheeler, I think her name is, to basically come up with the images for the Sabian symbols that we still use today. So, yeah, each degree of the 360-degree circle of the zodiac has its own Sabian image. This system of symbols are used to provide a deeper understanding of the cosmic messages contained within the stars in any given time, and I use them in transits to really hone down on what important things like the full and new moon or other astrological aspects and transits are telling us at any given time, and that can give insight into our personal, spiritual, emotional, psychological journeys and help us get the full uses out of any moon phase or important sort of like transit. The Sabian degree system offers a holistic approach to astrology, and as you know, this is the Holistic Astrological Podcast, and I always gear my sort of like interpretations of the aspects, giving you tips on how you can use any of the aspects of any given day to sort of like live your best life. So Sabian degrees basically allows us to see the bigger picture of our lives and give us valuable guidance as we make our way through this thing we all call life. So yeah, that's the Sabian degrees in astrology. So yeah, on the 5th of February at the full moon, the moon's in the 23rd degree of Cancer. So the Sabian symbol for this is a meeting of a literacy, so sort of like, book club society. The moon in this Sabian degree is a powerful sort of like energy for content creators to use this energy to observe the societies that they live in and use their art form, whether that be poetry, prose, free verse, documentary, or any other kind of film or content making, podcasting, or any other creative production skills, to be the projectors and reflectors of society, using their art forms to show society back to themselves. So perfect for true life creators on the individual level, the power to take an objective look, but also an objective yet emotional look at yourself and others, using your logic to balance your emotions and make firm yet life-changing decisions. Also, at the time of this full moon, the sun is opposite the moon at the 23rd degree of Capricorn. So the Sabian symbol for this is 2, awards for bravery in the war. So some of you may get some kind of recognition for work well done. And for others, it's a promise that if you start or continue a project under this influence, you will get some sort of future reward, whether it be big or small, some kind of internal or external praise, or supports taking personal responsibility for your life and all who you allow in it. Chiron, which has quite a lot of aspects involving Chiron at the time of this full moon, so it's at the 19th degree of Pisces. So some of you may receive information via dreams from someone older or younger, research, or in some other way that gives you insight into your life and your life path and journey and experiences, also revealing to you what you need to do to move on, take a next step forward. For some of you, it can come in the form of listening to a song or watching a show where you get some kind of light bulb moment, seeing clearly where you need to go. This supports that some of you may start or teach others using references they can understand, like using pop culture to explain deep, mystical, spiritual concepts. Also, Uranus is in the 21st degree of Aries, and remember, all my weekly scopes and daily scopes are based on constellational astrology, which is based on where the sun and the moon, which are the luminaries, and the planets are in the sky in the constellations at any given time, rather than the seasons, which Western astrology is based on. So yeah, the Sabian symbol for Uranus, 21st degrees of Aries, is a pugilist entering the ring, so it supports releasing the aggressive caused by Uranus and Mars and Pluto at the time of this full moon in safe ways by balancing your masculine and feminine energies, letting out any rays safely, like punching the air or priming screaming, like ah! Yeah, so, but also warns again of the jealousy or envy that can come in the form of you and others during the next few weeks, especially if you try to break from conformity. So people may be like, oh, I don't know who they think they are, and try and tear you down for wanting to be yourself, do something different. But to be forewarned is to be prepared. So yeah, ignore the haters and sign love and respect yourself always, and remember that hate is just another way of expressing love and admiration. But yeah, still don't let others abuse you. So yeah, Mars is also in the 18th degree of Taurus. The Sabian degree symbol for that is a woman airing a linen bag through a sunny window. So this again backs up that letting go of selfish and self-destructive behaviours is what's called for. We all have these sort of behaviours in us, so there's no shame in having them or admitting you have them, or being guilty over the fact, although this can be hard because we all want to be the best we can be, but we do have those sadder aspects that we've all got. With Chiron and Pluto aspects, this degree helps us to get to the root causes of our destructive actions and thoughts, if we are prepared to listen and do the work to change them, accepting both the good and bad, our shadow and light, that again, as I said, all humans have. So, this is asking you to allow yourself to let go of all the things that you are attached to. As the Zen saying goes, if you want to keep something, you have to lose it and let it go first. So yeah, to sum up, this full moon is a time when we can more easily tap into our inner strength and find clarity and insight. It can be a time when we can become aware of our subconscious mind, hidden motivations and core beliefs. The power of this full moon energy brings the ability to create and manifest the life you really want and desire, and make the powerful and life-changing decisions that can turn your dreams into reality. So don't be afraid to be daring and live outside the boundaries of conventional thinking, because you never know what brilliance lies within you. So yeah, that's the full moon for the 5th of February. On the 6th of February, we have the moon entering Leo at 9:34 a.m. So if you want to listen to that, again, I'm placing all of those at the end of this audio. So yeah, the aspects of today. Venus makes a square to Mars, so when transiting Venus is squaring Mars, passions can run hot and feelings between people can be intense and unpredictable. There is a tendency to come on too strongly in love or sex, and even infidelity some of you may be tempted with that. Due to heated emotions, acts of violence may be possible, but there is also a positive side to this aspect, an increased drive and passion for confrontation and competitive activities such as playing sports. So just play for competition but avoid going into full-blown arguments or physical fighting. This is a time for us to indulge in our passions and be mindful of the consequences of our actions, as the intensity of our feelings can lead to rash decisions. Also today, Venus makes a semi-sextile to Pluto, so there can be a strong pull in the air, as if some kind of magnet is drawing you to the people in your life, and you just be like, oh, I fancy me a bit of that, and cheating and stuff like that can go down for some of you. So yeah, the urge for connection can be powerful, with a deep yearning for something more, as if the attraction is beyond your control. Sense of tension and obsession may be high, and there can be a strong temptation to indulge in excessive sex and hookups and Netflix and chilling and other, well, I don't want to call it unethical behaviour because I'm not the moral police. So you can do that, and you can also do unethical behaviour, but I'm not saying that excessive hooking is immoral. It's your life. But yeah, this also, jealousy and other outbursts and power struggles in relationships can happen, especially if the attraction consumes one partner more than the other. So yeah, if you can, it's essential to resist these overwhelming urges and try to keep a level head, as the consequences of giving in can cause deep emotional pain for some of you. On the 7th of February, Mercury enters Capricorn at 1:59 a.m. It's going to stay here for about a month. When Mercury transits the sign of Capricorn, it's a time of great potential for change and growth. This is because the energy of Capricorn symbolises the goal. Capricorns are connected with ambition, hard work and practicality. So this energy can be perfect to inspire you to focus on your long-term goals and ensure that everything you do is backed up with a plan. This transit is associated with grounding energy and the need to stay connected to reality rather than go off with the fairies, as we say in the UK. It helps us to focus on the material world and practical matters, as well as the long-term goals and ambitions that are important to our growth and healing. So yeah, a quick breakdown of the key things to remember when Mercury is in Capricorn. Be sure to take a long-term view of your goals. You want to be sure that you're planning for the future and not just working on short-term goals. This is the time to think big and consider how your current actions will affect your future success. Keep your ambitions in check. It's an ideal time to start preparing for the future by staying mindful of your current efforts and the consequences that they may have down the line. So thinking about how your self-destructive thoughts or behaviour, excessive drinking, drug taking or anything else may stop you from achieving your goals, and not to shame you or anything like that, but maybe for you to start thinking of how you can get help or take steps to reduce any self-destructive behaviours that get in the way of you achieving your goals. So as you carefully plan out the steps ahead to manage your emotional, spiritual, psychological, financial and physical health, pay close attention to the details and don't let yourself get too overwhelmed with the larger picture. Also, maximize productivity. So as Mercury transits through Capricorn, it's a great time to use or build on or develop organizational skills and focus more on efficiency, cutting out the time that you waste Netflix and chilling and any other kind of distractive behavior. Seize the opportunity to prioritize and plan and make most of all of your available sources. And if you're lacking any resources, think of ways that you can go about getting them. But sometimes, and I'm a big contester of this, is that we plan and think, oh, how am I going to get this? But if we just start working towards our goals, I'm not saying things just fall out the sky, but things do fall into place. And if you really want it, you can get it, as the Jimmy Cliff song says. And if you don't know it, look it up. So just start. Don't let your fear stop you from bringing the things that you really want into your life, into your reality. But don't forget to set achievable goals. And as I said, some things are not achievable. We can't all be astronauts and stuff like that. But most things are, if we are willing to put the work. So say, if you're in your 30s and you want to become a doctor, don't think, oh, it's going to take 14 years to do so. Just think, by the time I'm 45, I'm going to be a doctor, and take the slow and steady steps to get there. And I know 15 years can seem a long time and you'll be like, oh, we're 30. But, those years are going to come anyway. So don't be afraid of the big picture and all the time you are going to have to put into making your goals. Break them out into small achievable goals, while also considering the big steps of getting there. So yeah, going back to, if you want to be a doctor, you are going to have to work hard over a set period of years, normally 7 to 14, but at the end of it you'll be happy and it's like a secure profession and you're helping other people as well. So yeah, set ambitious goals. This is admirable. Be sure to set achievable targets and plan out how you're going to achieve those targets. Don't get disheartened if you don't reach your goals, and make sure you don't burn out. Yes, work hard, but also relax and play hard too. Take things one step at a time and remain focused on your goals. With the right mindset and a bit of practical planning, you'll be sure to put yourself in a great position as you strive for success. Also today, on the 7th of February, Venus is making a set star to Uranus, and it's a perfect time to shed old patterns and try something new. So yeah, working with that Mercury and Capricorn energy, sustaining that, supporting that, so go for it. It brings us for us to want to break free from the mundane and explore the mundane, and Mercury and Capricorn can help us do this in a grounded way. And some of you may seek out a new adventure or flirt under this influence, which could bring a smile to your face. It's an opportunity to seize the moment, to take risks and make the most of the chance to do something different. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. You never know what new experiences it may bring. On the 8th of February, the moon enters void of course. That starts at 3:02. Also, the moon enters Virgo at 9:20 p.m. All times are in GMT. If you want to know what to do when the moon's in void of course or in Virgo, listen to the end of this audio. Also on the 8th of February, Mercury makes a sesquiquadrate aspect with transiting Mars. You can expect a fiery eruption in the air. Sudden arguments and disagreements may arise with people speaking hastily and harshly of others. Decisions made in the heat of the moment may lead to further problems down the line, as impulsive thinking can lead to rash conclusions and biting criticism. Aggressiveness and negative thoughts can come quickly, so be extra careful when moving through the day, as accident proneness may also be heightened at this time. Take some time to think things through before you act. This will ensure that you'll be able to navigate this volatile transit successfully. And the 9th of February, the moon enters its disseminating moon phase at 8:07 p.m. So yeah, if you want to know all about what the disseminating moon phase and what you should do, listen to the end of this audio. Also on the 9th, Mercury makes a conjunction to transiting Pluto. So this is a powerful astrological event that brings with it an incredible opportunity to tap into the depths of your intellectual and emotional potential. During this period, you can expect your powers of comprehension and communication to be sharper than ever, along with the potential to influence others through persuasive writing or speaking. But be warned, however, that conveying any extremists, so speaking, and you've got to believe what I gotta say and my way's right way, and getting fanatical about your opinions may not be taken kindly and can lead to some difficult situations. It's also important to remember that what you say and write during this period can also have a lasting effect, so be careful of what you text, what you email, what you say on social media and all of that. Temper your words with wisdom and thoughtfulness. With the power of Mercury and Pluto aligning, this can be a highly productive and rewarding period of growth, and also good for all writers to do research, or any kind of scientists, computer engineer. If you've got research to do, basically do it under this influence. And also good for deep spiritual, psychological work, if you can stay grounded as well. So yeah, that's the 9th of February. On the 10th of February, there's nothing to report home today. So yeah, on the 11th of February, the moon enters void of course at 3:39 a.m. Then the moon enters Libra at 7:33 a.m. So if you want to know what to do under these periods, listen to the end of this audio. If you're listening to it on YouTube, then it's timestamped, so just click on the timestamp and it will take you to the section. Okay, and also on the 11th of February, the Sun makes a semi-square to Jupiter, and this can be a time where influential people in important positions are readily available to you. This period brings a willingness to take risks, but it's important to remember that overconfidence and carelessness can lead to mistakes. It can be a difficult time to appreciate the finer details during this time, and philosophical differences can be common, with people saying my way is the right way and all of that. However, it's important to make the most of this time and use the opportunity it provides. This can be a time of growth where ambition and dreams can take flight. Take the leap and explore the possibilities, knowing that mistakes can be made, but also this can be a valuable learning experience. Also today, Mars makes a sextiquadrat to Pluto, so this can be a time of powerful motivation for those who choose to tap into this energy. Your inner passions and desires can become stronger. You may feel the compelling urge to take action and eliminate what's outdated or surplus to your requirements. So letting go of toxic relationships, starting to do the work or continue to do the work to let go of self-destructive addictions and behaviours and thought patterns as well. Also a great energy to get it done, If you channel this energy in healthy ways, you can make significant progress towards your goals. But negatively, again, this can make some people react too aggressively and can lead to sort of like power struggles, obsessions, and even violence. But if we stay focused and use our energies wisely, we can make great strides towards transformation and achieving long-lasting results. So what is void of course? Void of course moon in astrology is when the moon journeys through its cycle and it makes one last main aspect, i.e. a trine, conjunction, square, sextile, opposition with another planet before changing signs, yet it still makes minor aspects. I call them major, and I do include them in my weekly scopes and daily scopes. But anyway, so it will still make minor aspects such as semi-squares, sextiles, quintiles and sextiquadrat, but it won't make any what's called, in inverted commas, main aspects. When the moon enters void of course, it can be a time of uncertainty and confusion for many. Because of this, some astrologers suggest it may be best to delay things during the moon void of course period. To be on the safe side, it may be sensible to plan ahead, stay clear of major events or decisions during the time period when moon's void of course. Sometimes moon void of course can just last for an hour. Sometimes it can last for a day. If you can, it's a perfect time to take some time out to reflect and relax if you feel affected by the moon void of course period. In astrology, the moon represents our emotions and innermost feelings, so this is especially a vulnerable time for some people, especially for those with strong Cancer or water energy, Pisces and Scorpio in their chart. So water signs and those affected will especially benefit for taking time out to reflect and check in with themselves, especially on your belief patterns, maybe thinking of starting or continuing the work to let go of them. Excellent time to practice mindfulness and to be open to the universe lessons for you, giving gratitude. Even though it can be a challenging time, it can also be a powerful one if we use moon void of course periods as a perfect opportunity to cultivate our inner strength and wisdom. So the full moon period in astrology, as the days go by from the new moon phase, the moon slowly grows more and more radiant into the full moon, like a pearl in the night sky. Its silvery light reminds us of the lessons learned and experience we have had since the last full moon. The full moon phase lasts 2 weeks and can be a time of abundant potential and opportunity. The full moon happens when the moon is opposite the sun, so 180 degrees away from the sun. Some of you may focus on finishing things, others may experience illuminating revelations even through your own exploration or from the words or actions of others. It is an excellent time to think about your projects, especially the ones that need to be completed that you may have been putting off for a year or 2 or a decade or 3, and plan to take steps to overcome any obstacles in you completing these old projects. Some people may let go of relationships and others may start or continue the work of dealing with self-destructive habits or thought patterns that hold you back from being authentic and living life on your own terms. Negatively, the full moon can make us act irrationally and be quick to anger. There can be tensions between the conscious and subconscious minds, the more feminine and masculine aspects of yourself. Professional and domestic responsibilities can also get in the way of each other, causing a conflict between what we should do and what we want to do, leading to a fragile psychological or emotional states. There can also be an increase in bougie, showing off behaviour, and confidence and enthusiasm that leads to doing things to excess, such as excessive spending, socialising, eating, drinking or drug taking, causing you or others to crash and burn at a later date, or unexpected circumstances and that leads to unexpected consequences due to impulsive actions. So be cautious with all forms of speculation and other types of financial investments, and full moons can make us a bit more violent as well, so watch out for that. In ancient times, the full moon was said to be a cause of issues with digestion, so be careful of what you eat and drink at this time, as well as the information you take in and the people you spend time with. You may experience trouble with children or handling your own inner child right now, who may demand special attention or be emotionally challenging. Ultimately, the sun opposes the moon. The full moon period is a time, if you are prepared to put your mind and action to it, that people can understand each other's perspective more, yet you will have to fight for this to happen, even if it means overcoming your own prejudices. The full moon is far more than just an illuminated face in the night sky. It is a source of immense potential, capable of controlling the ebb and flow of tides and even influencing the events of our lives. Make sure you make the use of the full moon's magical power. As the full moon rises, it's a reminder that it's a time to let go of anything that isn't helping you reach your fullest potential. It's a cue to say goodbye to any people, places and things that may not be conducive to your overall growth and create new beginnings. The full moon is a time to break away from old cycles and habits and start afresh. As the full moon appears, seize the chance to start anew, embrace the wave of transformation it brings, and open yourself up to the possibility of a fresh start and exciting opportunities. Every full moon, so we have 12 a year, that happens each month, gives us a chance to make a fresh start, reminding us that we don't have to wait for our birthday or New Year to begin transforming our lives, because every month, astrologically, we have given the chance and energy and opportunity to let go of old habits and focus on positive, soul level growth. It's a chance to make progress that can last month after month, year after year, decade after decade. The full moon can also be a wonderful time for ritual and ceremony. It's a marker of endings and a time to symbolically let go of any negative thoughts or feelings that may be holding us back. So taking some time to write down the things you want to release on a piece of paper and burn. Some people do that. Some people spend time in water, whether it's a bath, shower, or even a dip in a river or lake, to cleanse the negativity from their mind, body and soul. Spending time meditating or in nature or in your home, find a peaceful spot outside or inside to write or voice note or vlog the things you want to let go of and manifest into your life. You can create a vision board or anything else to help you with this releasing and cleansing process that the full moon calls for us to do. The full moon can be a time of reflection, renewal and healing. Take time to think about the lessons you need to learn and start or continue to let go of your spiritual, emotional or psychological trauma. Sensual dance, tai chi and yoga can help you connect with your inner voice and intuition, and allow yourself to truly release any negative energy and let go of any burdens that are no longer serving you. Consider re-examining your objectives and perspectives and your prospects. Are you satisfied with the people and all the areas of your life? What obstacles are hindering you? What is preventing you from connecting to your internal bliss? Ask yourself what kind of things you would like to manifest, foster, grow within you or bring into your life, and what things and relationships do you need to start letting go of to make space for the new you want in your life. So yeah, these are some of the things you can ask yourself over the new moon. So when the moon enters the constellation of Leo, there can be an increase in romantic, social, artistic activity, adding the sexual, creative magnetism to the next couple of days. People may be more dramatic or wear brighter colours, while moods can be a little bit more cheerful, seeking to connect with people, whereas some people may be nice to get external validation. But in general, this is really energy where people can accept and give pleasure, and this can make people feel better in general. And some people can overdo it, so just try and relax a bit, chill out, get your point across, have fun, but don't play into the drama if people bring it to your door. You may be more self-sufficient, reliant and assertive about getting what you want. You may be more observant and able to make an accurate judgment of people and situations, especially other people's motivations. Negatively, people can become bossy and controlling, forgetting to use their heart and letting their heads rule. Lovers' tiffs and general superficial arguments can cause further pressure. Some people may try to dominate others but react badly to what they see as criticism or interference from others, which can cause a battle of wits and egos, because people can become highly self-righteous, thinking their way is the only way, trying to force others to do things their way. Taking risks without planning or thinking beforehand can cause misery and disagreements. There can also be fallouts in intimate relationships and setbacks in personal business projects when the moon's in the constellation of Leo. Memories from the past can interfere with your authentic personal expression, making you feel more insecure or vulnerable than usual. It's essential to check your mood, as it can affect your productivity and ability to think clearly. The best way to use the energy of the moon in the constellation of Leo is to express your creativity and pay more attention to your inner child and any actual children lives who you are involved in. Enjoy yourself without overdoing it in social situations, taking time out to watch sports or take parts in sports, be more romantic, and do anything else that sets your soul on fire, in moderation, of course, and don't forget to relax amongst all that partying and socializing if that's what you're going to do. Well thought out speculation can pay off right now in the stock market. People can also want to be entertained more, and all in all, Leo energy is all about putting yourself out there, going for what you want, and shining in the sun. So even when there's no sun. So yeah, when the moon's in the constellation of Leo, it can be a very infertile period for gardeners. Yeah, it is a good energy for harvesting and disposing of bad crops, weeds, fungi, and other pests. When the moon's in Virgo, people may focus more on health issues. You may prefer to work in a systematic and practical way. Paying attention to details is the key theme for when the moon's in Virgo. Despite the suffering, some people may ignore illnesses to concentrate on work. Others may want things cleaner than usual. The best use of the moon in Virgo is to do a complete well-being check of the mind, body and soul. Take time to research or learn anything that will help you improve your personal hygiene and nutrition, as well as do the things that increase your overall vitality and productivity. You are more able to make economic decisions when buying clothing, household items, and anything to do with like food or health items, stuff like that. The Virgo vibration can make you more aware of the effect of your mind on your body and your body and your mind. Now is a good time if you've been considering moving up in your career or in your education, or starting or following through a business plan. It's a good to rework or start those sort of things. Also, you may find yourself being supported or helping those who need your assistance, and making people feel more at peace with themselves. Negatively, when the moon's in the constellation of Virgo, though, people can become self-righteous and picky, annoying and bossy, looking down on others, thinking they know the right way to do things, and this can cause tension in relationships, especially in intimate ones. People can also be more critical, really critical, hypercritical, hypersensitive as well when the moon's in the constellation of Virgo. Some of you may also become less organized, and this can cause issues in your life. People can have poorer hygiene, waste sexual energy or physical or intellectual energy as well, because over worrying and being anxious, so that wastes you sort of like, it can waste your physical and intellectual energy. And also because people can be more prone to obsessive thinking, and that this can just affect your overall well-being. Also, make sure that you look after yourself, because people can neglect themselves, especially the management of their chronic health conditions, and this can also cause problems at work, low productivity. For you gardeners out there, the next few days are an excellent period to plant your crops, prepare for an excellent harvest, crop manipulation, trim vines and flowers, and eliminate parasites and weeds. When the moon enters its disseminating, waning, gibbous phases, the waning gibbous moon is good for planning, reflecting, self-improvement and connecting with others, learning from past mistakes and refining any plans or relationships. Small minor finer details, spending time in silence and stillness can solve your problems and release emotional tension. It's best to do what's essential to you and focus on improving and nurturing yourself. There can also be an increase in communication, but try not to force your opinions on others and keep an open mind. Reflect on ways to enhance your life by thinking about the repetitive thought and behaviour patterns and what you can do to change them slowly. The waning gibbous moon is also a great energy to meditate, spend time with or re-collaborate with your highest self or any higher power you believe in. Also, expressing gratitude for your life and the things and people in it, and set information and ideas and thoughts in meaningful ways. The disseminating moon phase creates a unique energy between the sexes, making it easier for those who identify primarily with their masculine or feminine sides to get on. The best use of this opportunity is to explore the balance between your own desires and responsibilities and open your mind to new possibilities. With so much energy in the air, it can be a time of excitement and growth, so don't be afraid to explore your emotions and find creative solutions to any problems you're going through now. The best use of the Libra moon's energy is working with or helping others, compromising to find solutions to problems, or simply working with others just to get work completed quickly. Working on creative work or any other projects, becoming more refined on your taste and appearance. The energy is given to work through problems peacefully, looking for resolutions that meet the needs of everyone involved. This is sort of like the perfect time to resolve creative or legal and other partnership matters if you can, and that's a big if. Remain cool and calm, rational, and focus on the practicalities of not only the situation but what you're going to say. Then you can navigate also any blocks to finding peaceful resolution or any obstacles that you may face. It may be a good idea to put off essential matters until later if you can't keep a level head. Some of you may be able to appreciate things such as music, beauty, nature more, making the Libra moon a sort of perfect time to start or continue artistic or musical projects. You may want to socialise more and make your close ones feel appreciated by saying words of affirmation. You can make them feel appreciated by cooking for them, taking them out, giving them a gift, or meeting their needs in some other way. Some of you may be more interested in psychological and emotional issues rather than socialising right now. Negatively, people can gossip more, be distant or outspoken. This can cause tensions in relationships due to a lack of understanding, impoliteness, bad manners, and insensitive to other people's feelings. So do your best to remain practical, rational, and peaceful. Listen to other people's points of view and state your wishes assertively, but be thoughtful with your actions and words to reduce the conflict, because, hey, it's nice to be nice sometimes, but don't people please, because that's Libra energy. Don't do that. Assert yourself, but in a polite way. So yeah, some people may prefer to just be alone. It's a good moon to look after yourself, self-care on the spiritual, emotional, psychological levels, and you may be more emotional, hypersensitive as well, so you may just want to take a break. And the Libra moon supports taking extra time just to look after your general physical health, your body, because sometimes we can be in our minds and forget to do that. Drinking more water, going for health checkups, exercising, and doing other things to look after your general well-being is also good. Also, under the Libra moon, when the moon's in the constellation of Libra, it's a good time to plant plants, especially those who, if you're in the southern, because we're going into the winter solstice right now, but in England, but yeah, planting colourful fruits, vegetables, and plants can make your garden look more colourful. It's also an excellent period to plant hard roots such as parsnips, celery, roots, water chestnuts, ginger, potatoes, and turmeric. So yeah, that's the weekly scopes from the 5th to the 11th of February 2023. Take care and thanks for listening.